Hello, it's the Crypto Rocker. How you doing, everybody? Hey, I know all my listeners out there have been really missing me, all two of them. But yeah, there's been a major dip in the market here. So thought to be fair, I get on, I get all excited when there's a big run up. But then you don't hear from me when there's a downturn in the market. But so I'm going to get on there today and talk about this little downturn in the market. Everything's kind of going down, 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 down. What's getting ready to happen with Bitcoin in this ETF that's coming? There's a lot of speculation that says that if Gary Gensler comes out and says no ETF, then that's going to cause a major crash in the market. Okay. And they're saying too that if the Bitcoin ETF does get approved, it's also going to be a crash in the market because it's going to be like a sell the news event. Maybe some of you have heard that old saying, buy the rumor, sell the news. But when you talk about buy the rumor, sell the news, a lot of times you're talking about things like stocks. And it is true. I've been in the stock market and I've been in the crypto market for like 8 years now. Okay, a long time. And I've watched it, I've invested, and I can tell you that it is actually true that this weird phenomenon happens. Like, say there's a company, like say Kellogg's is coming out with well, let me think if I can give you a specific example. I remember, okay, it was Nickelodeon. I think it was Nickelodeon that was coming out with some program on their platform. It was a new show that was coming out. And in the weeks leading up to this, it was set for a specific date, right? When the show was going to air. And then for the months and the weeks leading up to this, there was all this talk, there was all this speculation, and people were buying Nickelodeon stock. And the stock price kept going up and up and up and up and up. And then, like the day before the launch of this show on the network, the price started to just dive and crash, and there began to be this sell-off. And then the day that the thing aired, it didn't go to the moon like what everybody thought. It went down into the toilet. It crashed. The price crashed. That's called a buy the rumor, sell the news type thing. That's when when the rumor's alive, people are buying like crazy. But then when the actual thing starts to happen, you'll get smart money will realize that there is going to be a sell-off, and then it starts to become like a race to see who starts selling first. So they don't wait until the day that the thing drops to start selling. Sometimes they'll start selling the day before. They'll start selling 2 days before, and you'll start seeing a downturn in the market. And then other people start seeing what's happening, and they start selling and getting out of the market because they realize it's a sell the news event. And I'm telling you, this happens more often than not. I would say this happens 80% or better of the time. Whether it's a product launch, whether it's a partnership, no matter what it is, all this hype up until around 48 hours of the thing happening, and then there'll be a sell-off. And what happens is that smart money buys way back here a month or two before the thing, right? They buy in here and then they wait. And then as the market goes up, 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 they wait until about a day before the thing, and then they sell and they get out and they make buku bucks. They take nice profits, right? Stupid money, and a lot of times stupid money is just retail. They hear this news and they think, oh, when this TV show comes out online or when this product launches or whatever it is, it's going to go rocketing to the moon after the thing happens. They think that that's what's going to cause it. They think it'll just be straight up to the moon after the thing drops. And so they wait and they don't buy in these months building up. They wait until like a day before, and that's when they put their money in, thinking it's going to skyrocket the next day, and they end up buying the top, and then it's a big bust. And it's and then they see their money, they see themselves losing money, and it's going down, and so then they get out, they pull their money back out and take a loss, but they just want to get some money back out of the market because they're afraid they're going to lose it all. And so that just adds to the selling pressure, and boom, down, down, down she goes. It's a weird phenomenon that happens in these markets. So people are speculating that this is what's going to happen with Bitcoin. But see, there's a difference. There's a big difference here, okay? Because when it comes to like a product launch, like for say you got like a cereal, Kellogg's is coming out with a new cereal, or the TV show that's coming out, okay? Or a partnership or whatever it is. A company's coming out with a product. Take your pick, whatever it is. Cheese puffs. Because of the fact that this Bitcoin spot ETF that's getting ready to come out is not like it's some separate product. It's Bitcoin. And Bitcoin before is still Bitcoin, and Bitcoin after is still Bitcoin. So people who say that this is going to be some kind of a sell the news event are really not considering the fact that in order for the customers of BlackRock and Fidelity and all these different companies out there to start buying the Bitcoin for the Bitcoin ETF, they actually have to wait until the ETF is approved, and then they can buy the Bitcoin. The ETF has to be approved, then they can start buying the Bitcoin for their customers and put the Bitcoin in the portfolios for their customers. Okay. So who would sell into that? I mean, who would at the cusp of that news coming out and this ETF being approved, and then Fidelity and BlackRock and ARK Invest and all these different companies, then they can start sending out their sales forces and say, hey, we think it's a good idea for all of you to start to have a little bit of exposure to these crypto markets. So we're going to buy a little bit of Bitcoin for your portfolio. You've got gold, you've got stocks, you've got real estate, you've got this. It's good to have a little bit of this in your portfolio too. Not to mention the fact that a lot of the customers of these people actually want it. They've been calling up on the phone saying, hey, what's the deal? How come I can't get some of this freaking Bitcoin? And then they were, well, sorry, sir, we're just not set up to get that yet. The regulations aren't in place, and we've got to get approval and blah, 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 blah. Well, now the approval's going to come, and then they're going to have exposure to these markets, and their Fidelity and all these companies are going to be able to buy Bitcoin now for their customers to have it. And not only that, but the sales forces of all these companies are going to be out there selling Bitcoin now. They're going to be on the phones telling people, hey, Mr. Johnson, listen, I just wanted to call you and let you know that we feel that it's a good idea for you to have exposure to the Bitcoin market, because this is a new and vital market. It's crypto, and it's just going to add a little bit more diversification to your portfolio. Do you want to get into this? Yeah, oh, yeah, get me a bunch of that stuff there, boy. I tell you what, I want to have me some of that. And then the money pours in. So it's not going to be your typical buy the rumors, sell the news event, because it's not like some separate product is coming online and then you got the company over here that's got their stock prices. It's Bitcoin. It's all Bitcoin on both sides. The Bitcoin ETF is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is here. Bitcoin everywhere. Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin. And it means more people buying Bitcoin. It means these companies buying Bitcoin. It means, and if you take that into consideration, and then you think about the supply and the demand aspect of Bitcoin, and if you know anything about this, you know that the demand for Bitcoin is going up more and more as the days go by. More and more people are waking up to Bitcoin. They are becoming conscious of Bitcoin. They're talking about Bitcoin. They're wanting to buy some Bitcoin. They're realizing that, wow, this really is a good asset to own. This is not just a scam. This is not just some rug pull. This is real. This is just like gold. It's digital gold. It's a scarce asset. The technology is so good. It's so solid. Yes, want to have a little bit of it, right? That's what they're thinking. So all of this awareness of Bitcoin is just growing, growing, growing. And meanwhile, you have got an absolutely fixed supply of Bitcoin that cannot move an inch. It's fixed, it's clamped down, it's unchangeable, can't be manipulated. Okay, Uncle Joe can't just fire up the Bitcoin machine and start shilling out new Bitcoins. Can't do it. Now, there is the Bitcoin mining process that's going on where people are mining Bitcoin with their computers and stuff like that. And that's what the halving event is about. That there's going to be a Bitcoin halving where that hash rate gets cut in half. And what that means is that if you're mining Bitcoin and you're making 20 something a day of Bitcoin, by the halving, that's going to get cut down to 10. Now you can only earn 10 hash rate. Okay. And that's a crude analogy, but it basically just cuts in half how much Bitcoin you can make mining Bitcoin. But the reason why it is still lucrative is because of the fact that the price increase is baked into the whole program of Bitcoin. The halving comes, we see new all-time highs, and the cycle continues. Okay. So I do think only idiots would sell into this Bitcoin ETF coming up. I'm not going to. Um, I think that it's possible that anything can happen. It's very possible that they're right, and there will be a sell the news. It'll be a dip, just like we've had today, another pullback. Overall, over the course of the next years, I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is definitely going to six figures. As a matter of fact, I think it's almost a sure thing that Bitcoin will go to seven figures at some point. It'll be over $1 million a coin because of the supply demand aspect, because it is digital gold, because people, countries, everybody, all the big players out there are going to want to have Bitcoin. It's only a matter of time. It's like baked in. It's almost guaranteed that it's going to be there one day. Whether it's by 2030 or 2040 or whenever it happens, that's where it's headed. Because don't forget, there's going to be another halving in another 4 years in 2028, and then another one after that in 2032. And the Bitcoin mining process isn't going to stop for, I think, another 160 years. For the next 160 years, Bitcoin will be being mined. Okay. So anyway, with that said, thanks everybody. See y'all next time on the Crypto Rocker channel.